Hi, my name is Max, and I'm CEO at WeSoftYou. Today, we're in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Hi, I'm Peter Rubenacker. I'm Director of Special Initiatives, kind of jack of all trades at CounterTools. And I'm very happy to have cultivated a relationship with WeSoftYou and spend some time here today with Max Petruk, CEO of WeSoftYou.
Thank you very much for coming to us today. And we want to share with our audience a little bit about your story, because from what I know, and after all our conversation, your story is one of the most inspiring, how you went during all your life experience and become the initiative development programs manager and director in CounterTools, and you're bringing the SaaS and tech to public health consultancy and government, which is kind of new and fresh topic, and you're pretty successful in that. So I'd like to hear more about your story.
My background has always been flavored with tech. I got involved with CounterTools 12 years ago when they were founded. I had just relocated to North Carolina from California.
Wow.
And spent 25 years in tech there, looking for something interesting to do once we relocated here to North Carolina. And I wanted to be an entrepreneurship coach, so I got involved with the local universities and met the original founders of CounterTools, who had just started this business. CounterTools was founded by public health faculty members at a local university, and they had been working with public health agencies across the US and had built mapping software to help these entities collect data. So they were starting a business at the time, took some entrepreneurship classes, and I was one of the coaches. I thought they were interesting, and that was the beginning of CounterTools.
Can you tell me a little bit more about the specifics of how do you cooperate with customers? What CounterTools main services, like what is your service list when you try to attract a new customer? What do you offer them?
We offer state-level clients. Our typical client base is a state public health agency. And we offer training and tools and counsel on how to create tobacco use prevention programs, how to enforce those programs relative to the laws or the regulations that have been established inside a state. So we provide measurement tools to ensure that whatever policy has been created is being enforced in the various organizations. Our clients with us spend a lot of time in the retail environment inside their states, assessing what's being sold in a given area. We want to help that client map that visit, that store visit, to assess what's being sold in a particular community. Where is this store located relative to the community's other facilities? What activities, whether or not this particular retailer is a compliant retailer or not, and how those products are being sold and marketed to that community. So we are a technical and policy advisor to those state agencies to help them create healthy environments in their communities. So we had been building our products with outside agencies, outside developers since the beginning. We were fairly successful, but we were chasing a new client. And we spent many years trying to chase this very significant client, which required us to be in the build mode again. We had been in a maintaining mode for a long time. And we were faced with a significant new build to chase and win this new client. And we had to find a new partner. We're a small fish in a big ocean trying to find a equally eager, capable, flexible development partner to help us build this new generation of product. And that's what led us to WeSoftYou.
That's cool. It's great to have it. I mean, we're really happy to have the chance, right, to jump into that inspiring story. Yeah, I think we can't say a lot of details about that cooperation, yeah, because it's big government project, and but it required a lot of new skills for everybody. I think there's almost no people in the world who can be ready right away tomorrow to work with such a big and difficult.
This was a very
Customer.
difficult customer. The requirements for the customer were also very poorly defined. The various functions within this client were not hugely supportive of the initiative. We had support from an executive sponsor, but not a lot of support after the executive sponsor. So we were in a very challenging environment to deliver a product with a new build, with a new partner to make that build happen. So we were faced with many, many challenges 4 years ago. It's been 4 years, right? Yeah, 4 years ago.
4 years, yeah.
And here I am sitting with Max today. So we had some very difficult times, but here we are 4 years later, still together. That says a lot.
It's on our side, it's the biggest MVP we ever built. Yeah, WeSoftYou is mainly focused not on just staffing developers, we're mainly focused on building MVPs, building projects, right, from A to Z. And that project we built together was like one of the kind of, most complex tasks we ever had, because beside all the politics and the total amount of stakeholders, which is around, I don't know, maybe 12 to 15 the total stakeholders had to deal with, it was, we had to move the system from legacy code of the first version of your original SaaS you had developed for a while,
Right.
yeah, inside CounterTools, and we had to move the part of the code, update it, move to new version, and smoothly migrate everything from the first version of the application to the new version, to later be applicable to easily convert to the similar customers.
Right. We now we're in for 2 years of maintenance. We've been in, sustained and maintained the platform. We've continued to use the environment and the platform for multiple other clients that we have across the country. And we have evolved the team, right? We had a big build team for a long time during those first 2+ years. And we've been able to successfully transition to a sustain and maintain team for the past 2+ years, all with WeSoftYou resources. Now we're turning the corner and potentially going into another build phase. And we have an opportunity to chat again about building another iteration of the product with WeSoftYou again. It's an interesting model to have a US-based WeSoftYou resource here. Today, our current model does not allow us to share our data set with Ukraine-based resources or any resources outside the US. So we're now exploring the potential to have US-based WeSoftYou resources to help expand the scope of WeSoftYou's role with us as we continue to sustain and build our product suite. And the product works for that use case.
While building the product, we sort of had the main challenge, which we didn't put enough attention at the beginning. It's like 3 letters, ADA. ADA compliance with all the browsers and predominantly like Internet Explorer for government agencies, it was kind of a trick. It was like you're building a like web game actually. Like your users should be able to navigate through the website with their keyboard, like be able to work with colors and change a lot of things in the software. So it's we can see the both as a type of software is kind of as a next generation ADA compliance software.
The ADA compliance thing was, I don't think anyone expected how challenging that was going to be.
Yeah.
The browser requirement of this particular client was also another very difficult task. We were trying to figure out how we address these things, and we ultimately learned a great deal about ADA compliance. Browser compatibilities was another aspect that I think we underappreciated. But again, it didn't really feel like that at the time when we were in the middle of it, but
Yeah.
we survived.
Yeah.
Learned a lot.
Like ADA was that let's figure out like let's keep it for later. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then like ADA is like a lot of work there. And one thing is ADA, another thing is like Internet Explorer, but them together is kind of bingo. I think I personally like during working with the post 2.0 version and that particular build for the big customer big government agency, I personally developed my final state of entrepreneurial kind of, resistance to stress and whatever. You should just say, okay, you either giving up or you just need to survive in this environment. So in terms of project management, it was, I would say, from both CounterTools side, WeSoftYou side, and all the partners were involved in this process. Everybody showed like I would say, a masterpiece of the crisis management and project management, because there was kind of, you need to save, you don't know what even you need to save, right? So you just need to do something.
Well, yeah, the standard usual protocols and Gantt charts and
Yeah.
all those lovely things that they teach you in project management schools and courses. Not a lot of that worked. It just didn't. Agile, Scrum, the methodologies are interesting, but at the end of the day, none of those models really applied. You couldn't follow those models in any exact sense and still deliver and survive in a difficult project like this. But there were risks all around.
Yes.
There was uncertainty all around. None of us really knew how this was going to play out. WeSoftYou was willing to go for the ride. And that's a big part of why we selected WeSoftYou, because they were not afraid. And that's big. That inspired confidence that we could actually deliver something. It certainly wasn't perfection throughout the implementation. There were bumps in the road for sure. There were difficult challenges from all sides. But we all survived and delivered an end result and continue to have a cooperative relationship, which says a lot.
And all that happened during COVID.
And happened during COVID, yes.
May 2021, you visited our office in Ukraine.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about your trip.
I was there for a few weeks. I got to spend time in the office with the team. I got to see the country. I got treated like royalty. The food was great. And I got to learn something about the team members who were there. Learn something about their lives, learn something about what they thought this project meant to them. So I was able to provide some context as to why we were doing what we were doing. So yeah, to me, that solidified my opinion of the team, to actually meet and spend time with them in person.
I think you picked like probably the best time to visit Ukraine, and it was like half a year or something. I mean, like 9 months before war.
Yeah.
It was like the best times in Kyiv. It was spring. You attended like when we were running like charity marathon or something, you know, in the Kyiv, like in center of Kyiv. We were traveling to mountains, going to restaurants, like a lot of great time. And the restaurants started to be open after, I mean, this lockdown.
Right.
Like it just was like the end of the kind of winter, early spring lockdown. So in a perfect time.
The worst part about the trip was getting COVID tested so I could make my journey back to the US. That was the biggest challenge of the whole trip. Everything else was great.
Yeah, this is really challenging. Thank you very much, Peter. It was really great to see you again in person, have this conversation, talk, and kind of re-experience again all those like perfect, interesting memories we had together.
There are some of the things you may not want to live through again, but yes, it was nice to be here and talk through it and remember that we did deliver despite all the challenges.
I remember the quote, I believe it was the CEO of NVIDIA or another company that said, if you ever know what it takes to be here, you would probably not want to experience that. So sometimes the blindness and not understanding what it takes, it's like what it helps to be here.
Yes, it does.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.